Behind a grove of bamboo trees and a rocky dirt road stands an old house that has never been inhabited for more than 3 nights. People in the village called it Mr. Mustache's house. Not because the owner had a thick mustache, but because of the figure that often appeared in the window of the upstairs room, always faint, with a shadowy white-haired face and a thick, blackened mustache. This is my story. I was a student majoring in architecture who was writing my final project. The theme of the assignment: revitalization of colonial heritage house. And of all the locations I explored, only one house really caught my attention: Mr. Mustache's house. The house stood on a small hill. The paint was peeling off the walls, the wooden windows were open on one side, and the main door was never locked. The villagers said the house holds a soul that never sleeps. I decided to stay for 3 nights in order to draw plans and take notes on architectural details. The first night, everything was quiet. But there was one odd thing: the number of hallways. From the old blueprint drawings, the house only had 3 main hallways: one to the kitchen, one to the bathroom, and one to the storage room. But that night, I saw a 4th hallway. The hallway was narrow and dark. The walls were damp, and many paintings of unfamiliar faces hung. As I followed the hallway, I suddenly returned to the living room. It was as if the hallway swallowed me up and spit me out. In the morning, the hallway was no longer there. The second night. I slept in the living room because I felt uncomfortable in the upstairs room where Mr. Mustache usually appeared. At around 2 a.m., I heard footsteps in the attic. They were heavy and slow. Then, a dragging sound, like a heavy object being dragged across the old wooden floor. I went up slowly with a flashlight. There was no one. But at the end of the attic, I found something strange: a small, rusty door that was never on the blueprints. I forced it open, and inside the 4th passage appeared again. I entered, and that's when I saw it. On the walls of the hallway hung photos of the victims. There were dozens of them. All their faces looked terrified. At the end of the hallway, there was a big old mirror, and in that mirror, I saw myself, but with a thick mustache and completely white eyes. I panicked, exiting the hallway, running out of the house. But the house had changed. The floor plan had changed. All the doors led to the 4th hallway. All the windows were sealed, even the ones that had been broken. I was trapped. Voices started coming from that hallway. Little giggles, sobs, whispers of names. Andy. That was my name. They were calling me, inviting me back. In a semi-conscious state, I fainted in front of an old mirror. And when I woke up, I was already in the village hospital. The villagers found me 3 days after I was declared missing. But they said the house didn't exist. There were only ruins of foundations and bushes. When I opened the sketches I'd made during those 3 days, they were all blank. There was only one image that was clearly drawn: the face of a mustachioed man with white eyes. And what made my hair stand up the most, at the bottom of the sketch, there was a sentence written in red ink, which wasn't mine. The 4th aisle will always take you home.